Well, welcome everybody. We are now at about 10:04, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Thank you everybody for joining us. Really excited to have you here today. We've had a really great partnership with Fayetteville State University, and we're excited to have a chance to talk with you all about it. Before I sort of jump into things, I just wanted briefly say I'm Alyse. I'm here with the NCGrowth team. We're an economic development center at UNC Chapel Hill. And I'd love for my colleague, Dr. Tamara Bryant, to please introduce herself and unmute. You're going to be hearing quite a bit more from her a little bit later in the presentation, but just want her to say hello to y'all.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Excited to have you. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get started by telling you what you all are looking at. You are looking at a beautiful, cloud-free, gorgeous day over in the city of Fayetteville. This was the day that we had the grand opening ceremony of the Fayetteville Cumberland Regional Entrepreneur and Business Hub. This hub was opened a few months ago, but has been incredibly busy, and we're going to be speaking about it quite a bit later on. But what you see here is a lot of smiling folks because this was an exciting day. This was an exciting day for the city of Fayetteville. The university has made a commitment to having a space and resource available to the community to be able to grow their businesses and access resources. And so we were all very happy. You see Chancellor Allison right there in the center. And then to his left is Dean Ulysses Taylor from the business school. To his left is Mayor Mitch Colvin from the city of Fayetteville. And to his left, you see Dr. Tamara Bryant, who you just heard from a moment ago. All right, I have been told that there are some first-year students joining us today. And so in order for you all to get the course credit that you're excited about alongside this great presentation, please go ahead and scan that QR code. If you have any issues, please reach out to Macy Green in the text here, and she can help you with that. But thank you for joining us, and welcome to Carolina. All right. So to get us started, I want to share a little bit about NCGrowth. We are a center over here at the Keenan Flagler Business School. We are focused on creating shared economic prosperity and really building a more equitable economy with good jobs and new wealth in economically distressed communities. We do this through several different programs. Today, we'll be speaking quite a bit about one of those. But big picture, we provide direct technical assistance to businesses, to municipalities, to governments, to universities, really all aimed at the goal of trying to create shared economic prosperity. So we provide direct technical assistance. We also produce great research. We're constantly cataloging current policy and coming up with recommendations to make this sort of work better moving forward. And we host great convenings as well. I'll also say that this work is made possible because of the graduate student analysts that we have. We hire graduate student analysts to work with us part-time while they're working on their degrees from universities all across North Carolina, South Carolina, and into Tennessee. So if you're a graduate student, or if you know graduate students who are excited about this kind of work, please reach out to us. You know, we're always looking for analysts. We did just close a recruiting period, but please reach out nevertheless. So anchor institutions create economic resilience. This is what we're here to talk about today. This work was really originally started back in 2016 in partnership with UNC Pembroke. There was a new chancellor at the time, Chancellor Cummings, who's still there, and he was really interested in increasing the impact the university had on the broader community. And so after several discussions, we decided that really the greatest area for opportunity was to focus on produce. So over the course of that project, UNC Pembroke was able to increase the share of produce they got from their local community from just 2% out of the total to 16% out of the total. And we thought that was pretty fantastic, especially for about a year-long project. So back in spring of 2020, when the pandemic got started, we continued to think about this project, because while the purchasing patterns of many anchor institutions and companies, et cetera, were shifting and changing, the need remained the same. It's clear that these anchor institutions, these universities, hospitals, local, county, tribal governments, they may have a change in the types of purchasing they do, but nevertheless, they're always going to have massive budgets that are required for them to really continue to run their programming and to remain open. So we thought if we can work with more anchor institutions and help them be intentional about their spending, instead of purchasing something from outside of North Carolina or even outside of the United States, let's instead look at some small businesses in the local community, and especially businesses that have been particularly impacted over the course of this pandemic. These historically underutilized businesses are the businesses that are Black owned, Asian American owned, Native American owned, Hispanic owned, female owned, disabled owned. Channeling more of these funds to these businesses is going to help grow their capacity, help them get through this pandemic, and then be more resilient into the long term. So we just felt like it made a lot of sense, and it made a lot of sense from a business perspective, from an anchor institution community leadership perspective, and an economic development perspective. As these businesses grow, you all can imagine they hire more people from the local community. They're able to generate more tax, and which can help the local services as well. It just makes a lot of good sense. So what exactly are we doing with AICER? We have a lot of different activities, and honestly, our partnership really, our implementation really depends on our partners and the needs that they have and the opportunities that they have. But more or less what we do generally falls into these categories. First, assessing procurement and purchasing needs, understanding what these anchor institutions buy regularly, what they're having trouble purchasing, et cetera. And then finding businesses that can be responsive to those needs. So if we understand that an anchor institution needs tires, for example, then we would try to find a good source for those tires in the local community from a business, ideally, that's also historically underutilized. We are finding these businesses through a lot of different online databases and through local partnerships. It's been a pretty data intensive process. But finding the businesses is key in order to connecting them to these opportunities. We also train the businesses to succeed. So we have different events and programming that we do. In particular, the vendor readiness workshop is sort of our main program, our main event. During these workshops, we invite in all the businesses that we've identified. We bring in the procurement folks from our anchor institution partners, and we hear from them about exactly what their needs are and what their processes are. So if you are going to, for example, work with Fayetteville State University, who exactly do you need to talk to? What website do you need to go to? What form do you need to complete? Whose hand do you need to shake? Whose email address do you need to know, et cetera? We also end this with a purchaser marketplace where all the businesses can meet with the anchor institutions in the room and see what kind of opportunities they have and try to do that matchmaking between the capacity of the business and the needs of the anchor institution client. We also develop policy recommendations, continuing to catalog existing policy and coming up with ideas for making this work easier moving forward. We support ecosystem building. A better connected ecosystem tends to thrive more and do better. So understanding who are the anchor institutions in the region, who may be clients to the businesses we identify, but also who are the business support organizations in the local ecosystem. North Carolina has an incredible ecosystem of business support organizations all across the state. But a lot of businesses, especially small businesses and new businesses, don't necessarily know about those opportunities yet. So the better connected the ecosystem support organizations can be, and the anchor institutions who have needs from these businesses, the better the outcomes will be. And we're going to hear a bit more about ecosystem building later on. There's some great stuff happening in Fayetteville. Lastly, strategic planning. So this work can have a huge impact, but it's important to be intentional and to have a clear plan in place, to be clear about your goals, your metrics, et cetera. We're currently developing a strategic plan for the UNC system to increase their utilization of local and diverse suppliers across all 17 UNC institutions. So I wanted to give a quick little bit of motivation context about the work that we're doing with Dr. Bryant and with Fayetteville State University. I'll start by saying, I kind of want to reorder these bullets a little bit. I'll start by saying that this work is incredibly important to Fayetteville State University. At the state level, we have an office called the Historically Underutilized Business Office. It's part of the Department of Administration. This office is in charge of certifying businesses as historically underutilized, which means they've demonstrated they're 51% owned and controlled by individuals who are Black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian American, female, disabled. And this office has a clear certification process, and they're actually legislated by the state. And there is a goal in place for all public entities across the state, which means all the K-12 schools, all the public universities I've been mentioning, all of the Division of Public Health, et cetera. They're all supposed to be trying to spend at least 10% of their dollars with these historically underutilized businesses. Unfortunately, the data shows that a lot of the public entities are not yet meeting that goal. With that said, though, this has been a really big focus for Fayetteville State University, and you can see it in the data. So first of all, I want to point out that the most recently published state level disparity report, which basically shows the availability of businesses and the utilization of those businesses by public entities across the state, FSU had 29.7% utilization. That means they spent 29.7% of their dollars with these historically underutilized businesses. The average across all the other UNC schools was 8%, just to give you a sense of sort of where we are right now. So given all of that, when Fayetteville State University received record-breaking numbers of state appropriations for capital construction projects and repairs and renovations, they immediately wanted to decide, apologies, I'm getting a note from the administrator. I need to go ahead and admit a few folks. Let me just get them admitted. I'm almost done. There we go. Okay. So back to where we are, the appropriations were record-breaking. The latest number is $170 million. This is a huge number of dollars that is going to be invested in Fayetteville State University. But FSU leadership wants to make sure they spend it in a way that is going to build regional business capacity and support region in being more economically resilient well into the future. Given this, we've had a lot of different discussions, and Fayetteville State University has done a ton of incredible things, including starting this hub and hiring Dr. Tamara Bryant to lead it. She has incredible energy, and this has been such an exciting partnership. So I think that with that, very quickly, one more thing I'll say, the city of Fayetteville has been in the news recently because in February of 2022, the Brookings Institution released a report, and it showed that the city of Fayetteville, among all of the MSAs they surveyed, had the highest percent of Black-owned businesses in the country at 11.2%. So clearly there's something special happening in Fayetteville. We're really, really excited to be working with them on this. And with that, I am going to pass it over to Dr. Bryant.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, I do appreciate your the opportunity to share what Fayetteville State University is doing here in the community. We're very excited about the work that we're doing, and we'll hope to continue to further the work that we're doing here as well. Again, like Alyse said, I'm Tamara Bryant, the operational director for the hub. And this hub was established in September of last year. So we've been, rocking and rolling ever since that we've opened up with the help of the AICER program. We have been very appreciative for the work and the collaboration and partnership that's helping us to push the mission forward. The Fayetteville Cumberland Region Entrepreneurial Business Hub is where we're located, right beside Fayetteville State University. We are a historically underutilized business university college. And our mission is to provide impactful support to small, disadvantaged business enterprise, minority-owned, women-owned, and veteran-owned businesses that wish to create and grow profitable, sustainable, and scalable business ventures. What we do is we promote economic development, and we do that through entrepreneurship education. We partner a lot with other entities, as well as we try to find experts in the field that have expertise in finance, marketing, social media, legal assistance, to give them that wraparound services that when a client comes to the door, we do not have a no wrong door for our clients to come in, provide them with access to capital as well as business development. The big goal of this hub is to build capacity. Like Alyse said, is to be able to help this underserved population continue to be able to apply and win these procurement and purchasing contracts that are available throughout Fayetteville State, as well as throughout the counties as well. Our focus is Cumberland County. However, we are focusing on our Sand Hills region, and also reaching out to other counties within Cumberland County. So we're servicing Bladen, Columbus, Harnett, Moore, Hope, Richmond, Robeson, Sampson, and Scotland County. What's also great about the hub is, again, that having that one-stop wraparound services. We have 3 affiliated centers that's inside the hub. One is our Veterans Business Outreach Center. The Veterans Business Outreach Center assists veteran community, that's active duty, military spouses, reserves that are interested to transition into entrepreneurship. And the Veterans Business Outreach Center covers the whole state of North Carolina. They're funded by the Small Business Administration. At the time, there's 22 VBOC, sometimes call it VBOC or VBOC. And we happen to be the one that covers the whole state of North Carolina, and provide training for those that are transitioning out of the military. So they provide training at all the installations here from Cherry Point, Seymour Johnson, Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, in those areas. And then we also have the SBTDC. SBTDC is located at all 16 university campuses, and they're here to provide that technical small business development assistance in helping from exporting, as well as strategic planning. They work with small and medium-sized businesses. They specialize in government procurement with their GCAP arm inside of their SBTDC. Their focus is mainly on small to medium-sized businesses. How can we help them scale and expand their business as well? And then we have Fayetteville State, the EDA University Center, and their focus is on underserved population. We're talking about those that we just mentioned, minority, women, veteran, who sometimes may not have all the resources available to them to help them to really grow and expand their reach. And so those are the centers that's inside the hub that's here to assist the clients in this service area. Let's end the next. So here I'm going to give a picture of what we have, showing on our location inside of the hub. We have a training facility, so a lot of classes take place inside of our training facility. As a matter of fact, we have one going on right now. Our Veterans Business Outreach Center is having what's called a Boots to Biz reboot. And that Boots to Biz reboot is for those that have already transitioned out, to teach them about the fundamental skills of how to start a business. So that is taking place right now in our training center as we speak. We also have co-working space. We want this to be a resource for this community, that people can come and collaborate in your own business, or collaborate with each other, to be around like-minded individuals. This service is at no cost to our students. We want our students to take advantage of it. Those that are interested in entrepreneurship, we want the community to take advantage as well. So we have our co-working space that people are able to come and utilize. We have a laptop reserve that you can reserve a laptop and use it if you forgot yours at home or may not have one. We have independent working stations as well, if you want to work independently too. The community is realizing what the resources are here, and so sometimes before I can get through the door, we have people that's signed up and ready to either use our co-working space or work independently as well. So we have the student population that comes over, as well as the community as well. We also have what's called our conference. We have 2 conference rooms with AV technology as well. So if you want to have virtual meetings, you can do so too. Utilize this information, utilize this space too. We've named our rooms. We gave naming rights, and the reason for that is we had our city government and our local government, from the city of Fayetteville to Cumberland County, that says we are behind what you do. We invest in our local community, and because we know that this service is so important to the community and bringing about economic wealth, community wealth in the community, we want to put our money where our mouth is. And so they gave us money to be able to upfit this building. It was our old bookstore. So we named our conference room the Cumberland Room to say, we appreciate you. We appreciate you for believing in what we do and investing in your community as well. So here is what we call our Cumberland Room. And then we have our maker space. So inside of our maker space, we have 3D plotters, 3D printers, and people can come in and use our 3D printers to take their idea that they have inside their head and actually put it in the machine. And it's amazing to see how it works. It's slow, but it's amazing to see how whatever idea you have, that you can put it in the software and then allow this machine to create that for you, and to see if this is something that you can somewhat that you will be able to commercialize and work with and manufacture it on. Then we have our plotter. Again, our goal is to give you access to resources. And one thing that we see these barriers to this underserved population is sometimes they don't have the capital to be able to provide those resources to be able to compete. And so we want to be able to eliminate some of those barriers that they have. And we realize that buying blueprints can be expensive. No longer trying to hire someone to do your estimating for you. So with this plotter, it allows you to be able to print off blueprints if you wanted to work here at the university or our Public Works Commission or the city of Fayetteville, and some of their future opportunities as well. They bring their blueprints to us, and it allow the community to be able to have access to this resource to be able to do so as well. So here are just some of our the programs and the services that is inside of our hub. And then we also have a small kitchenette area there too, that when we have events, so we'll be able to serve light refreshments as well. So inside, we said what our services, I go around to that wraparound service, right? And so in that wraparound service, because our goal is to support local entrepreneurs. We know that it's vital to the success of our community. We know that. And our goal is to keep the local dollar here. When we do that, our economy grows and it creates a better quality of life for our citizens. And with the assistance of our affiliate centers with VBOC and SBTDC and EDA, we provide financial and capital assistance. We also partner, we believe in collaboration. Well, I am a firm believer, I cannot do this by myself. It takes a collaborative effort of everyone coming together, because we all have that same common goal. And that same common goal is to be able to assist individuals that's interested in wanting to pursue entrepreneurship as a means to be able to provide a quality of life for their family. So we partner with the Women's Business Center as well to provide this access to capital and financial literacy assistance. Again, we work with on contracting and procurement support. Again, we collaborate with some of our prime contractors here that have been awarded some of our biggest contracts. So I'm really big about networking and collaborating with those and saying, bring them to the table. Again, it's about access to networks. Another thing that we've learned in terms of the disparity study, what that underserved population have said is, we never got a chance to know what the opportunities are, or we never understand what who are the players in the room, or we never had the opportunity to understand what that paperwork process is daunting. So for us is, what are the gaps? What are the gaps, and how can we eliminate those gaps? And how can we bring people to the table to help us do so? So we collaborate with our prime contractors when it comes to Salmon and Metcon to teach the underserved population what it takes to do business with them. and for us to provide those resources that if they do not have them, to be able to make them whole so that they can go and compete with the other contractors as well. We provide marketing support and, like I said, our makerspace as well. Some of our programming that we've done since we opened up in September, like I said, we had a contractors college with Salmon, construction Salmon and McFarland to teach this local underserved population. We work with AICER. AICER identify businesses within this 10-county region. We invited those individuals and select those individuals based off their qualifications to teach them what it takes to do business with them. We collaborated with DOA, Department of Administration, and said, hey, you know, our goal at Fayetteville State is to continue to increase the hub utilization. What we want to do is make for sure we're encouraging and promoting and giving them the tools to be able to become certified. So we've had hub certification classes and application submittal classes here at the hub. Our facilities, our team utilize our facilities to do their pre-bid, bid meetings, outreach meetings here as well. And this week alone, we started our first Women in Construction Summit. Again, providing access to that underserved population of how can we do business here and how can we support. What we realize is that women thrive in a support networking system, and to be able to collaborate. Just last night, it was our first one. We had I call them two ladies that are rock stars, doing extremely well in their individual business, but they are already trying to team up and do a joint venture to see how they can do some of the work here at Fayetteville State. So that was just exciting. Never seen each other, first time meeting each other, but they were already trying to figure out how can we team up and take our core competencies that we have and be able to team to be able to do some of the work here at Fayetteville State and abroad. So we are really excited about just that networking and that like-minded shared goal that these ladies have. So those are some of the programming that we have going on, and more to come as well. So when we talk about partnerships, remember I said I am all about collaboration. I was telling the ladies last night when we did the inaugural Women in Construction, and people asked, you know, what is one of your asset that you bring to the table? And then one thing I say is that, you know, I'm a collaborator. Relationship building is one of my strong assets that I bring to the table. And again, I say, you know, I don't have all the answers and I never will, but everyone around the table, we will have the right answer to bring about solutions and being very results driven. And with us partnerships, you know, I collaborated with, and this is the work that we're doing collectively. Again, we all have that shared goal. How do we increase hub utilization, and how do we help this underserved population, provide them equitable resources so they're all on the same playing field? So some of our partners that we partner with, again, is City of Fayetteville, Public Works Commission, the Fayetteville Cumberland Economic Development Corporation, North Carolina Bar Foundation, the C Center, which is our Women's Center. And why is that? So yes, you know, Fayetteville State, as you can see from Alyse in her earlier PowerPoint, we are leading it in hub utilization. But some of our partners are not, and they're not leading in some place in terms of this underserved population. So the challenge for them is, according to a disparity study that they've done with a consulting firm with Griffin and Strong, that show that less than 1% of the contracts are given to this minority-owned businesses. And that's from African American, Asian American, Hispanic, women-owned businesses. So, you know, we have a challenge. So and we have an issue here, right? And so I'm big on solutions. So what is that solution? Let's figure out what the problems are and how do we, because we are eliminators, we eliminate the barriers for this. So how can we increase that percentage of this underserved population to be able to give them that? There is something missing. And so there's a gap there. And this is what the hub is to do, is to close in that gap. And how do we close that gap? Well, first we have to figure out what is it that's missing that's not allowing them to be able to do the work. So we bring those people around the table, and I say, you know, when I got started, when they asked me, our chancellor said, Tamara, you know, will you spearhead, you know, the hub? I'm thinking about opening up the hub, and this is the biggest initiative that we want to do. I want to be able to help the underserved be able to build capacity and win to be able to grow our local economy. Because when we do that, people will stay here. When you have good jobs and good quality of life, you're more than likely to stay in your community. And I immediately went and started making phone calls and talking with the powers to be to say, hey, this is what FSU was doing, but I know you had that same goal as well. What can we do collectively to help you? And what are your pain points? What is keeping you up at night as a purchasing officer, as a CEO? What is your pain point? And some that realizing we all have the same issue, but also have the same common goal of building capacity for these individuals. So again, our mission is to be a viable entrepreneurial ecosystem, providing active and equitable resources to the underserved small business community, again, to help them build capacity to win those government contracts and purchasing opportunities. So what we've done thus far. So again, when they told me, hey, Tamara, would you be interested in spearheading the hub and being one of the leaders of the hub? And I said, okay, I'll take a stab at it. And they said, well, we partnered with UNC Growth, AICER. And I immediately went to call and email Alyse and Christina and said, here's the work. Here's the work. And this is what we're trying to accomplish and do. Looking at the scope of work that an MOU that FSU and UNC NCGrowth and AICER had. And I said, okay, let's get to work. When I say get to work, we were working simultaneously as we're trying to come inside the hub. So I tell people all the time, I am flying the plane and building it at the same time. And so we, again, had our first contractors college. I think we opened up September the 14th. We had our outreach on September the 20th, I believe, Alyse. We started our classes on October. So we just, hit the ground running. And so the work that we've done collaboratively, again, so Alyse help us identify those underutilized businesses within that 10 county region. And so we created with collaborating with Salmon again, a contractors college. And in that contractors college, it talks about, estimating and vending, estimating and bidding, and how to estimate correctly so that you're not underpricing or overpricing yourself, because one contract can take you out of business. And so in providing you with those fundamental skill sets of how do you do so, we also realize that a lot of their issues too is bonding and insurance, and how do you increase your EMR rates, and bringing people to the table, those insurance companies that teach them how do you become financially sound and have that financial, resiliency to be able to obtain the bonding and insurance that is required to do the work. And so those are some of the classes and the resources and tools that we provided in the Contractors College. We had 22 firms that were selected. We're in the process now working with Salmon in the months to come. Actually, next week we're having a outreach on the work, because they won the award for our new dormitory, and so again we're working with Alyse. We're talking, I think, on tomorrow, Thursday, in regards to identifying these businesses based off of Salmon's needs for this particular bid packet, so that we can provide these contractors and figure out what their skill sets are, what their commodity codes are, and making for sure and assessing them that they are in position to be able to do the work with Salmon. Again, like I said, we had our hub, come and collaborate with our hub utilization to help get these individuals hub certified as well. And to date, since we've opened up in, let's say from October to now, we've had over 34 events, registering 675 attendees. From our bids thus far, we've had over 5 million bids with some of our hub certified firms. So, and then Alyse was talking about earlier, one of their major, we say, flagship programs that they do is the vendor readiness workshop. So we're doing that here collaboratively with them as well. And we're also doing it with those partners that I say, the power is in partnership, right? So we're doing that with our city, our local anchor partners too. Again, I say, you had PwC that was doing something at City of Fayetteville. Why not come together and let's have this huge purchasing fair? Because again, your client could do the work. We're talking about building capacity, but building past performance. And for a business to build past performance, they have to have work. They have to have the work. So why not understand what it takes to do business with the City of Fayetteville, PwC, Spring Lake, Hope Mills, whoever, so you can build performance so that you can continue to be able to obtain more contracts. That's the way you grow and you scale your business. And so we're kicking it off. Instead of a one day, we're having a week long in celebration of National Procurement Month. We're going to start it off again with our officials. We also want to show our officials that bought into us, the saying, this is the work that we're doing. So the Cumberland County and City of Fayetteville that have decided that, yes, I see value in it. So therefore, I'm going to put our dollars into this program. So we want to come back and show them this is the work that we're doing. This is what your dollars is doing for this local community. So we're going to have our kickoff with our the mayor of the city, Mayor Colvin, to kick off this procurement week to tell, again, to show the citizens here that we are serious about the work and we're serious about you and helping you to be able to grow your business so you will stay in this community and your families will stay, your kids come back, go to college, but they want to come back and provide, generational wealth and legacy. We do that by continuing to help those generations do so as well. Again, we're going to provide training opportunities, and we're talking about, that capacity building and talking and working with them on their capability statement to be able to show the purchasing manager what skill set I have, what past performance that I've done, to show you that I'm now ready and positioned to do the work with you as well. And so we'll also have on that Thursday, we'll end it. And so we're what we're calling is we're taking the show on the road. So we're started out at the City of Fayetteville. On Tuesday, we're going to Public Works Commission. And there we're going to talk about certifications, because remember, certifications is so important. I tell people all the time, it's a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool, and it sets you apart for someone else. So you want to figure out what's your value proposition. Your value proposition can be in your certifications. It can be in your core competencies, and providing you with resources and tools to help you build that capability statement, but also say, here are some things that's missing, and here are the resources and the individuals that can assist you in getting you your certifications. Again, setting you apart from someone else as well. And then working on workshops in regards to building capacity, having your capability statement, and those things as well. And then on Thursday, we'll have a presentation about the power of purchasing. And FSU will be talking about that, as well as myself, and how important it is, and how this generate dollars here, how it creates jobs and retain jobs in the community, and what that power purchasing look like for your local community. And then we'll end it with Meet the Purchasers. We have everyone at the table again, from Spring Lake, the town of Spring Lake, the town of Hope Mills, to Cumberland County school systems, Cumberland County itself, City of Fayetteville, FSU, to talk about, here are our future opportunities. And this is what it takes to do business with us. Now come back to the hub and get those resources, get the training that you need, so when those future opportunities come, you are locked and ready to apply and be able to do the work. So we will end the event with the purchaser marketplace. So we're excited about that. Please share this information. I think Alyse just put the flyer in the chat. So if you know of businesses that's in these 10 counties that's interested in wanting to expand their business, and they want to build performance. We talk about building performance, especially if you're in this public procurement space or government space from the federal level as well, and you're wanting the opportunity to build your performance, your past performance. Here is the opportunity to do so, and attending these events and understanding and learning what these opportunities are. So still to come. So we still have work to do. We're still working. Like I said, we're still flying the plane and we're still building it at the same time. So what our goal is to do too is to develop a professional network for regional hub contractors. And what we realize, again, like I said, collaboration and networking is so key. I was watching a movie one time last week, and one thing they said that struck me was saying, how do people increase their wealth? And they said introductions and relationships. And I said, whoa. I was watching Inventing Anna, even though I know it's crazy and her and how she conned people when she got here. But someone said, how do you do that? Is introductions and relationships, access to those. So how do we create a network, right, to support them? It's all about being a support system. I say also, I'm a parent, and I cannot have parented my children without that support system. I could have not went and got degrees or anything of that nature. Do what I do without having that support system. So our goal is to create and develop a network to support this community, to be able to be sustainable and grow as well. So we are continuously working on our Contractors Academy in college. We continue to do outreach to this population, continue to train them, continue to get these businesses hub certified. Once I get off this call, I'm calling facilities and say, hey, I noticed the contractor here wasn't certified. Can we get them certified before this contract is over? So I'm constantly, figuring out ways how we can increase those goals and objectives that FSU and our governing board system have set for the college as well. In collaboration with our college, what we also do is really big on applied application. And when I say that, is giving students entrepreneurial activities and entrepreneurial experience, experiential experience. I am a hands-on learner. You give me something, I may visually see it, but once I have the ability to apply what I've learned, then for me, it sticks. And so what we want to do is be able to give these students opportunities. So what we also do and collaborate here is we work with student team groups with our College of Business and Economics. I was just on the call yesterday with an assistant professor of marketing who is working with some the VBOT clients and SBTDC clients in helping them analyze their social media. We have one client we're working with their marketing plan, another client we're working with their financials because they're trying to get access to lending. And that collaboration that we have, again, it gives students the opportunity to apply their learning. We're also working with one of our professors, Dr. Glacken, who just received a grant with NC IDEA for $150K. And this is to provide curriculum, entrepreneurial online curriculum for our Black entrepreneurs and to build that community wealth for this community. And again, to provide them information that they may not have been privy to before and may not have access to because it may not have the means to be able to come to a college and take a financial financial accounting class or take a social media marketing class. With this resource, this grant will allow the professors, and which is working with all professors across all disciplines here at Fayetteville State, to create a curriculum, a 6-week curriculum that these individuals can take to learn how to apply the knowledge to be able to implement if they want to start or grow their business. So in collaboration with FSU instructors, that's the other initiative that we hope to bring come fall of this year, and working to do that in spring, but actually definitely implemented the fall of this year. So this is some of the work that we're doing that we have coming up, and then when I say the very near future, and we are very excited about what is to come for the city of Fayetteville and the surrounding areas too that I've just mentioned.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. It's been, as I mentioned at the start, it's been really wonderful to work with you. I've really enjoyed this partnership and this project, and there's still quite a bit more to come. As you've spoken about here, I also wanted to go ahead and just feature this again. As Dr. Bryant mentioned, we have an entire week of activities, March 27th through the 30th, culminating in a vendor readiness workshop on that Thursday, the 30th. If you own a business or if you know anybody who owns a small business, particularly that are in the 10 county region surrounding Fayetteville State University, please share this information with them. We would love to have as many businesses as we can, join these events and get the information that will hopefully help them succeed in trying to access these opportunities with our anchor institution partners. So very, very exciting. I've got that on there. I also dropped it in the chat, so you're welcome to follow the link there. I believe that is it for us today. I have a message from somebody asking about CLE credit. I'm going to go ahead and advise that you reach out to Miss Macy Green, who is on here. You can direct message her and get a little bit more information about that. But otherwise, thank you all for joining us today. And I just wonder if there are any questions. And feel free to either unmute yourself and just go ahead and speak with us or drop them in the chat. With this moment of quiet, I'm going to go ahead and shift to the final slide. So Carolina Engagement Week, this is just one of many great sessions happening all throughout the week here at UNC Chapel Hill. Please go ahead and check out the other events and see if there's anything else you'd like to join. I think there's a lot of great partnership work that's being highlighted. Also, if you can go ahead and fill out a survey about your experience with us here today. This is a survey link, just trying to keep track of people's feedback and what are the topics that are of interest to them. And track attendance. I see that Miss Macy Green has added a link here, track attendance through the link below. So I think that is what you were looking for, Olivia Cole. All right. Any last questions before we sign off for today? All right. Well, feel free to reach out to Tamara or myself. Our emails were on that final slide. Happy to continue the conversation with anyone who's interested in this work or wants to be engaged. And I think that wraps us up for today. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a great day.